Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Lexi and welcome to this cute and cozy vlog. If you are new here, my name is Lexi and I run a small crochet business called Cute and Cozy Co. And I make cute and cozy items that help you decorate your space and make it the cute and cozy vibe that you are wanting. And if you're a returning subscriber, hi, thank you for coming back. In today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. A couple weekends ago, me and my husband, we decided we were feeling like in a thrifty mood. So we went to the Goodwill and we also we have a local place that people can have little booths of like vintage items or whatever you want, flea market style kind of, but it runs year round and it's inside. So we felt like we should stop at those, see if there was anything good. I've been seeing videos where people are going thrifting and they are finding sweaters that are really beautiful yarns and they're getting them to take them apart to use the yarn for their own projects. And I decided I kind of wanted to do that. I wasn't sure if I was going to find anything that I liked, but I did. I found two things. So I got this sweater. And honestly, it's too small for me even if I wanted to wear it. But it's kind of just a cropped sweater, but I really like this pink yarn and it's a little bit thicker, so I thought I could actually use it. I didn't want anything that was like super fine because I'm not about that. It takes so long to crochet up things with really fine yarn. So I was looking for the little bit chunkier one. So this one's just like a really nice pink. Hopefully it'll focus. Whoa. Hopefully it's focused. But it is pink, but it kind of has a little bit of white running through it, and it's super soft. So I picked this one up. And then I also picked up this cardigan sweater in this really lovely green color. And it's almost kind of like a velvety yarn. So I had to grab this because I just think this is going to be so much fun to work with. And I was thinking I could maybe make some of the plants that I like to make out of it. Because it's kind of velvety, it's not like one solid color. It looks kind of variegated. So I think that would be really cool for a plant. So yeah, I am going to have to learn how to take things apart in a kind of efficient way. This sweater on the inside, I can actually see some ends. So I'll probably start from there. We are going to see how much yarn we can get from these sweaters, and then we're probably going to try and make at least one project out of them, probably one of the plants, once I get all the yarn undone and balled up or caked up. Hopefully that sounds like fun to you. I think it's going to be a cool little project. So yeah, join me this week. We're going to tear apart some sweaters, which feels sad, but I like the yarn, so I kind of want to do it. Hi, I wanted to check in with you because last night I was actually able to make some good progress taking apart the first sweater. And I did decide to take apart the green sweater first. So the way this one was put together, it was a cardigan. So it had like the upper back and the sleeves. And then on the bottom, it had like a whole panel that made it more flowy. And that was the first thing that I was able to take apart. So this was that like whole bottom. And it was pretty tedious. I basically had to use my little like yarning needle to like take the stitching out bit by bit. But it was pretty minimal waste. The only thing I really had was the thread that was holding that together. And it was kind of more of like an embroidery like weight of thread, so easier to work with. So yeah, we got that first part done. I haven't really started like taking the yarn apart yet. I really just wanted to get all of the different pieces, separated. So this part was from like the top, I believe. Let's see here. I think I have one part of a sleeve. There's still a little bit like around the sleeve that needs to come off. And that was from the top bit as well. This one did start to unravel, so there's hope that it won't be terribly hard to do. And then right now I'm working on getting the other sleeve off. This part up here that joined on the shoulder line, I want to say they just like sewed together two ends, unfinished ends of the knitting. So there's a lot more ends happening in these bits. And also the seam along the shoulder on both sides was so much. I didn't really get a lot of good footage because I was just like struggling with it, but I have a little bit of footage of some parts that were a little bit harder, and I'll show that here. And then I also have some parts where things just like not seamlessly, yeah, ripping apart the seam were really easy. And I don't know, I just hit it in the right way that I could just pull the thread and it came apart. So I'll show that as well. Yeah, I'm going to keep working on this. Hopefully get the rest of the pieces apart. It's really just these sleeves now that I have to figure out getting the rest of the body part off of it. It's both of them. It's like where the armpit area. There's a few more seams for sure and little panels. So we got a little bit more work to do to tear it all apart into its pieces, and then we will attempt to pull it all apart and get the yarn, and I'm gonna cake it up so that it's all nice and neat, and then we'll get started on the next sweater. And hopefully either that one's easier or not harder than this one. That'd be nice. Hi guys, I have officially taken apart the entire green sweater, and we have 7 pieces total that I now have to figure out how to frog. Some of them do seem to have more of like ends that I think are going to be easy to frog, but some of them I'm going to have to figure it out. It might be a little trial and error on like which side pulls nicely, all that good stuff, but I am going to work on that. And I did have to change my shirt because I totally forgot that the sleeve on that other shirt, I do not know what happened to it. It kind of looks like oil stains, but I literally have no idea what I did to get that. So that's a little disappointing. I need to treat it. But anyway, still wearing like the dark blue. But please don't judge me for my sleeves. I totally forgot. And I don't know how it happened, but whatever. Anyway, we're going to work on frogging these. I'll probably just ball the yarn as I go, but then I would like to actually cake the yarn so it's nice. We're gonna watch Passionate Kelsey's new video out today, and we're just gonna chill, and it's gonna be nice. So you'll see me frogging these and then probably caking them up. For right now, I have just balled it up, but I do plan to get my yarn winder out when I'm done frogging it all and balling it all and caking it up, because that's how I like to store it. And I will say it's a little thinner of a yarn than I had thought. I would probably say it's either like a 2 or 3, probably a 3, because like the velvetyness kind of gives it a little more body, I guess. But overall, so far, I am liking it, and I can't wait to actually use it and turn it into something fun. Hi guys, I have officially caked all of the yarn that I collected from the sweater that I took apart. So we got quite a bit of yarn from that, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. And it's all nice and neat and ready to be used. But I think next I am going to take apart the pink sweater and get that all done, and then I would like to make a plant out of this. So we'll take apart the other one, ball that yarn, cake that yarn, all that good stuff, and then we'll get to actually making something with the yarn that we have gathered. Hi guys, I wanted to check in with you. It is a little bit later in the day than I wanted to do this, but I finally just got the chance to shower, get myself all ready, because both kids actually are taking a nap at the same time, which doesn't happen a lot, so kind of relishing in that. And also, my husband has been gone all week on a work trip, So it's just been me all week. So it's just been a little bit tougher. That's kind of why I'm doing this video, just because a little bit less involved than like a roll for crochet. That takes a lot of, you know, time, I guess, and just switching projects and whatever. So I wanted something that I could work on that was just a little bit more low-key, which is why I've been doing the sweaters, taking them apart and turning them into yarn. And speaking of that, last night I decided to just lay in bed after my daughter went to bed, and my son was just laying in bed with me playing for a while, and then he finally fell asleep. But I took apart the entire sweater, have it all in its pieces, and have some of the stitching that they use just to kind of reinforce the edges, even before I think they sew them together. Got all of that out. So literally now I should just be able to frog and ball the yarn, and then I will cake the yarn. So not too bad. This one, maybe it's just because I knew what I was doing now, I felt like it was a little bit easier to take apart. It was also like a cropped sweater, which the other one was like a long cardigan. So just a little bit less. There's definitely less pieces. But yeah, again, the yarn is a little thinner than I had thought when you just kind of look at it. But it's not like terribly small. I think this one's definitely a 3, inching into looking kind of like a 4, maybe just a really solid 3. So that'll be nice. I have no idea what I want to make with this one yet. Maybe like I don't know. I've been wanting to make a granny hexagon cardigan for my toddler, and I definitely think this is enough yarn to do it. And it's cute and pink, so maybe that's what my plan will be. Because that would be a fun little project to have on the side anyway. So I don't really have time to work on it right now. Got to get my toddler up here in just a little bit, because we are going to go and pick my husband, her dad, up from the airport. She has definitely been missing him, so I want to take her in and so we can meet him. And then we need to go grocery shopping, and the Iowa Hawkeye game is on tonight. It's a Friday night game, so gonna be watching that, hoping I can convince my husband to pick up some dinner, because I don't feel like cooking, and he just got back from a trip, so I know he probably won't feel like cooking. So win-win for me anyway. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We are going to take care of some house stuff, family stuff, but hopefully tonight during the game I can start frogging all of this and balling it into yarn. Hi guys, it is going to be the end of the video, but before we totally wrap up, I want to show you that I have indeed finished caking all of the yarn from the sweaters that I took apart, and it's a really good amount of yarn. Obviously they were sweaters, so there's basically enough yarn to create two new sweaters. And I do think I want to use the pink yarn to make a granny hexagon cardigan for my toddler, because I just wanted to make her one for a while. And I like the yarn, and I think that'll be a good way to use it up. The green yarn, I definitely want to make plants out of, which I did make a plant, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But I don't know if I'll make anything else with it, or if I'll just try to use it for plants. We'll see, I guess. It does make a really nice plant yarn, so let me show you that. All right, so we have our little string of pearls plant, and I just think this turned out so nice. The yarn is velvety, so it just feels really good. It is a little bit smaller than yarn I would normally use. I usually use acrylic, like a worsted size 4 yarn. So this is smaller than that. So I did make more vines than I normally would for this size of a plant. I think normally I just do like 12 vines when I'm using my size 4 acrylic, but I made 21 for this. And I think that is nice and full looking. I don't think it needs more than that unless I were to do like a bigger plant. But for these little ones, which I like the little ones, and they're a better price point for people at markets anyway. So yeah, happy with how this turned out. Definitely want to keep using it for plants in the future. I'm considering double stranding it to make like my bigger ones, just to see how that works up. I've never double stranded while I've made these vines, so I don't know if that'll work. I think it should, but yeah, we'll try that out at some point. But pretty happy with just how it looks, kind of in like a miniature plant style. So that is where we're going to wrap things up this week. If you've made it to the end of this video, go ahead, give it a like. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you'll stay up to date with all my future content, which will include making more plants out of the green yarn that I got from these sweaters, and hopefully someday soon I will actually start that granny hexagon cardigan for my toddler as well. But for now, I will say thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.